everyone. I am so excited to be doing this with you. To start the process, we're all going to head over to trueclientpro.com website. Once we're there, you can click on Start Your Free Trial. And this is going to bring you to a page where you're going to register. Go ahead and add all the information that is needed. So I'm going to do it with you. And we're all going to choose right now Florist, and choose how you found us, choose your country, and then add your password. Now try to remember to keep that password nice and simple. You can always go back and change it. And then you're going to agree after you read, or however you want to do it, terms and conditions, cancellation policy, and privacy policy, and then click the box and then create my account. This is going to bring you to this page to choose your plan. Here, you're going to choose premium as a florist because florists have inventory, whether that's flowers or non-flower item, or you're making recipes and other things. Go ahead and choose either annual or monthly, and then click on Begin Trial. Once you click on Begin Trial, you're going to see this payment details. Remember, you will not be charged anything today. And then once the 21-day trial with Sarah is over, then and then you're going to be charged. If you wish, you can always go into the portal and then cancel your subscription. Once you click Begin Trial, after adding your credit card information, you will be on this page and it will tell you to go to your login page. So go ahead and go to your login page and add the email that you signed up with. We're all going to land on onboarding checklist. Your onboarding checklist is going to be 60% always because we've done the hard work and added a lot of pre-default data added for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do before I start giving you any instruction, for the sake of inventory being imported, we're going to go to Inventory Library and we're going to start importing few items. When you get in, this is going to be blank. What I want you to do with Sarah is click on Import Tcp Inventory. Here, we're going to look at the PDF sheet that Sarah had given you guys for the recipe items and then start adding item name one at a time and click on it. You don't have to click import right away. You can backspace it and then you can just add. So add each item. The reason why I'm asking you guys to do each item is because the inventory is so large that it will take about over an hour to get all the items imported because the items have a good definition image and lots of information, and I can show you what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and continue to add the information. And once we're all done with this, oh, I forgot this champagne ruscus. How can we? Either you can follow what I'm doing on the screen, or you can look at your PDF list. And we're only going to import those items to speed up the whole process. Now I'm searching keywords to find the bunch of items. So you are getting to see some of the inventory that we already have in here. So let me go ahead and click import on this. And now it's going to give you a little notification that when it's done, it's going to tell you that it's imported. And you're going to see a sign up here. Meanwhile, what we're going to do is click on Import TCP Inventory one more time and then try to get in the rest of the item. So let's go ahead and look at Juliet, and you'll see there's beautiful information here for you to see. All right, so now, while this is happening, what I want to do is I'm going to click on Import TCP Inventory. So the rest doesn't bother me, that it's going to take some time, but at least this other information's already there for us. So I'm going to select all because I want all of my inventory to come in case we need something else, okay? And I'm going to click Import. So while the computer's doing its work, we're going to also go to work. Now, I'm going to review all the things that we're going to be doing. While we're doing that, I'm going to go to Company Setting and click on Company Profile. You guys can have a jump start adding your logo over here by simply choosing an image and continue doing that while I go through the whole process. So once we have imported our inventory, we're going to work on Company Profile. We're going to add your company address, your state, and your zip code. We're going to also add your header, which is going to include your company name, phone number, and all those great details. And then we're going to go ahead and add a project and quickly add a client, create recipe. We're going to look how that all translates into the invoice and how everything comes together to create a worksheet and order for the event. Okay, so I hope you guys got your logos already in, and make sure you save. Now, when you go to save, it's going to give you a little warning. That's why I had said you have to select your state. Okay. And just say okay and add your zip code. Okay. Once you've done that, we're going to go down to the header settings, and then you're going to add your company name. You can even go ahead and add your name, lead designer, whatever you want to add. And then add your address in there. I'm going to leave my address empty, and then go ahead and copy paste into each header. Now remember, you can always come back here and change and update this as necessary. So I'm going to click save because that part for us is done. Now we're all going to go to the home button by clicking on the home. Once we're here, this is our main page. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little highlight and navigation here. If you click on this, you can watch the high-level demo of what the program does. Any items that we've deployed will be listed here. And this here is a view of what the client's portal looks like. You have your FAQ questions here. You get help here. On the bottom right-hand corner, this is really powerful, guys. So here, you're going to be able to use a keyword. So for our purpose today, we're going to choose intrigue, and then you see right here, it brings us to the Help Center articles, and you can see that there is a process, exactly what I'm doing in the video. It's here step by step with a screenshot. So don't be shy and go and explore that. And I'm going to click down arrow to go make that disappear. Here also on every page there's an I help, and you're going to be able to read more about what each page and function does. Now we're ready to jump on to our project. Click on project, add new project on your upper right hand corner. We're going to click on that. And we know that we can't add a project without a client because everything revolves around, the project needs to belong to something, right? So we're going to quickly add a client, and here you're going to say Sarah, and we're going to give Sarah True Client Pro as a last name, and we're going to use support@trueclientpro.com email, and then click save. And now we're going to create the project. So we're going to click on wedding. Anywhere you see this drop-down menu, it is all customizable, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose the project date to be September 7th. And then we're going to click save. Now, this is going to be game changer for you guys. Remember how we used to have a folder pulling out of a file cabinet, and we had multiple papers and photos and sticky notes. No more. This is literally your digital folder with different papers. So this would have your project details, your interaction tracking, your sticky notes, inspirational photos, project photos, vendors and venue list. This is the heart of the whole worksheet. This is what creates your invoice, your orders, your proposals, everything. Go and explore later on, guys. But stay with me right now. We're going to go to Inspirational Photos to see these beautiful photos of this arch. So click on From Library, and we're going to click on Intrigue, Arch, Bouquet, and Photos. Yes, you have a treat, you guys. All right, so I'm going to choose Bunch of Photos. I preloaded them for you guys. All right, then click Done. So if a client adds any photos, you will be able to see them. And if you add photos, the client can see them. And if you want to block it, you just simply click on that. Okay, let's move on to Project Worksheet. On the Project Worksheet, there's colors and elements. So colors are going to be, it's mainly peach and green for us. So I'm going to just choose a bunch of greens. And then I am going to choose, shades of peaches, because how you tag your inventory, and this is all customizable. So we want to get all those colors because the inventory will populate according to the colors and the elements. You might be asking me, what are elements? Elements are high-level tag. Like when a bride comes to you and says, oh, I want candles, and I love anemones, and I love garden roses, and I love stock or freesia, whatever it is. Start searching for those items. So those are called your tags. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here's my stock. Then we had greens. And we can even say branches. What else did we have, guys? And remember that I know you guys don't know yet, but you can make these elements internal and external, which is a fun thing. So don't worry, like if you put down equipment and you're like, that's going to show up on the proposal. Not to worry at all. What else did we have? We had painted items. So let's go ahead and add that and click Done for now. I'm going to give it a try. This may or may not work because our inventory is still populating. But if the inventory was all populated in, when you go to Design Board and click on Populate button, oh, magic is starting to happen, guys. It's going to show you just the items that are tagged in these colors along with those names. It's taking its time. I can see that it's not having all the items imported just yet, but this will make your life easier when you are creating recipe. I'm going to go ahead and collapse this. And now we're going to move on to creating the invoice. So this is completely customizable. We have preloaded some data for you. So let's go ahead and add two things. So we're going to do ceremony and we're going to do art installation. And then we're going to add one more item. So let's do bouquet. Everybody loves to talk about bouquet. So let's go ahead and make a bride bouquet for now, because I want to show you something else. But today our focus is going to be on the ceremony. Here, go ahead and add a quantity and make your price 0, because we want you to see how the price building works. And we're going to add a description. So you can all add the description that you feel is right for you. So I'm going to say classic garden style arch overlooking a pond. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now here you can see there's questionnaires. What color flowers do you want? This clients can fill out or you can fill out. We're going to just do quickly say peach near pond. And I'm just going to say roses and click save. Let's go ahead and tell the bride, or, because we're going to be building a proposal, what we're selling to them. What are they envisioning? So that's the image that we're going to be talking about. Now on the bottom, if you notice, there is a recipe section. Click on the plus icon. I'm going to give you a tip. When you add items, because you're adding them quickly, if they don't pop in right away, don't add it again. Just click on plus or minus and that refreshes it and it'll populate it. There's so many goodies up here, guys, that we're going to hopefully have a chance to review all of them. As our inventory starts to populate, we can start adding all the ingredients. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on Add Recipe and then look for all my items. So let's look for the stock, which we have. And I'm hoping that everybody follows down to the T and we get every single ingredient in here. To keep our process fast, I'm going to go ahead and add a recipe that I've already made. So I'm going to click on Add Recipe and I'm going to dive into my library. I have the arch recipe already prepared for us right here and click Done. This is going to populate. So remember what I told you, when it's heavy data, we want to refresh. So I'm going to close and open and it should start populating it. There we go. So the two items that we added already that are duplicated, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I believe it was Tiffany number 1. So this is how you can also use your recipe library, which is really great to do. So I have all my items added in here. So I'm going to point out a few fun stuff in here. If you wanted to know more about Juliet Garden Roses, you can click on it to read more about it. You can also say, I want to show this item on a proposal because I want to share this with the client and tell a story to, have that one extra step to book the client, right? Because we want to connect with each of the client. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, you can click up to 6 images. So click the images that you want to show you on the proposal. The next thing, note that you can change all your markups, not only here, but also on the customizable field to completely customize this not only to your region, whether you're a studio manager or you have a walk-in shop, whatever it is, you can change your markup like in a second. And I would love to do that with you guys another time. Okay, so once we have this recipe and we have the quantity, we can go ahead and take a look how this looks on the invoice. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Payment Invoice tab. This you can only view. You cannot edit here. You can add a fee such as labor or, so let's go ahead and do breakdown by percentage, okay? And you add whatever works for you guys. Follow the PDF. Change your percentage. It's not written in stone. And then we're going to go to the payment section. Obviously, because we have a 0, it's not really going to do anything for us. But we can do retainer and a final payment and then click Save. This will give us 2 payment schedules. You can even assign a date. And then you can choose another date. And then we're ready to go to proposal. In the proposal section, we're going to go ahead and choose Elegance. Elegance has 1 image, and then click on this edit image. It will give you option right back to choose an image. So let's go ahead and choose our arch again. There we go. Now it should catch it. And then click on preview. But before we click on preview, you have an option to even customize this further. Over here, you can add client's name or name of the event, whatever it is. So here we can say, okay. Now I'm going to click preview. So remember that if you have the pop-up window blocker, you need to unblock that, because when I click preview, the proposal is going to pop open on a second tab without leaving you this screen. So make sure that you unblock it. It does take some time because what the program is doing for you is bringing in your logo, the name of the client, the date. Then it's starting to tell story, your logo, your header, the image that you just put in, the name of the client, all the colors that we had put in, elements, and then the next page is going to start itemizing the item. So here for the arch, you can see it gives our description and the images that we chose, it's showing up. And then on the bottom, it gives us a tally of summary of fees. And then last page is our projected payment schedule. So this is how you can create a beautiful proposal. I'm going to go back to worksheet because I want to show you something else, you guys. Okay, now here from the ceremony, if I wanted to copy the similar recipe, I could click on this copy to, and I'm going to be able to copy this to the bride's bouquet recipe. Okay, but I'm not going to do that just yet because I went ahead behind the scene and copied a recipe for this bouquet just to show you guys something. Add recipe, and now I'm diving into my recipe and clicking on this, and done. It's going to populate all the items. Again, remember to refresh if you need to, and it will populate all the items. Now, this is something you guys can work on your own, but what if I wanted to share some instructions, right, with my team, because I am so busy executing 3, 4, 5 events a weekend. I need my team to do what I do. I need to duplicate me. So here we've taken care of all of that for you. So in the instruction, you can tell the team how to do exactly just that. So you can go ahead and say, you know, set up the pipes and poles, add weights, and we can say zip tie, branches, oasis, but you could be very, very specific here, like step by step for your team. It's like mini you sitting on their shoulder, giving them perfect directions that you could do this without going to the event. Here you can also check your rental availability for the items, how many you have on hand. Now remember, when you download TrueClient Pro, everything's going to say 0 because we don't know how many you have. So you do have to go and update your inventory. Otherwise, it's going to show you out of stock. You can also view the recipe details high level when you add the recipe, and you can click on this. It will open up in another page for you, which is another great feature just to kind of say, before I add the recipe, let me take a look at high level of details, what it is. Deleted an item by mistake, you can bring it right back in by clicking on this box. So that's a lot of the fun stuff, guys. Now let's go to the nitty-gritty part. Production report. This is the dream for all the florists and the freelancer. Production reports are for the week of the wedding. I'm repeating, week of the wedding, because you can do this work in between all of these tabs, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, but this comes together for the week of the wedding. So the worksheet is up here. There's 2 types, one with price and one without price. But we're going to get to the worksheet after we look at the project summary of order. So what this is, let's go ahead and download while I'm chatting with you. So what this does is it takes every ingredient, as you can see, and tallies it up for you. What do I mean by that? So here you can see the bride's bouquet, art installation, and then it lists out all the item that you need. So if you look, for example, so here it says I only need half a stem on eucalyptus painted, but here I needed 40 stems in the arch itself. So it's telling me I need 40 and half. And then because I put it 10 a box or bunch, it's telling me to order 5. It's doing the math for you so you don't make that mistake. So this is going to be really powerful in many, many ways. So let me close that and let's look at the worksheet report without price. So without price is something you give when you have a freelancer in-house or another designer and you not necessarily want to share price either with your staff, whatever works for your business, whatever your process is. So if you had the instruction, so let's go to our ceremony. So our instruction for your setup instruction is set up the pipes and pole, add weights, zip tie, branches, etc. And then the description here. And because we had filled out those questionnaires, they showed up here. So this way, What you're doing is you are arming your team, your designer, with the details that they are not coming back to you. In short future, we're going to actually have images here, just like proposal. So I can't even wait for that for you guys. Okay, so that took care of that. Now let's take a look at the run of the day reports also. We're going to go ahead and click on logistic. So this is for a business owner or somebody who's going to oversee the wedding. So it's a high level detail of the vendors, the client information, where things are going. So if you notice, it says personal flowers and ceremony details. But then you can actually take each item. You see personal flowers and then the ceremony. Let's look at the ceremony. Here you can see it tells you the time, but it also gives you the instructions along with the description, which is fantastic. And then it tells you who picked this item initially, who loaded it, and is this rental. All right, there's a lot to digest, guys, because this is meant to grow you, your business, take it to the next level. I hope you enjoyed this process thoroughly, and I can't wait for you to try out the Bouquet and start using TrueClient Pro and become part of our family.